back at it with some more Dragapult EX playthroughs. And so I've got a ton of games here, trying to start a series where I just try out different decks. And this is the one that's been really one of my favorite decks as of late. And so we have a good setup here. We got a couple of our stage ones, and we're going to pass it over after doing the Rotom V. And he has Badoo, which is super strong against our deck because we can't use any item cards. But we're going to work around that by evolving and using this Dusclops to our advantage. We're going to be able to take out this Badoo and in turn force him to put in the card that is on his bench, and we're going to be able to then knock him out. It's a pretty cool knockout, and it's one of many against Badoo because I hate that card. I play it, but it's only because everybody else is playing it. So we're able to knock that out with the Dusclops, and this Dusclops engine is just, it's so good. And just like that, we take an easy W. And you'll notice that about Dragapult, a lot of quick wins. Here's another one here against Charizard. You see a ton of Charizard, and I think this person just got a little arrogant. They just kind of left him out there thinking that we're not going to be able to kill him, and we're able to get some energies on our Mon, switch him out, and really quickly just get 200 damage on the board. And of course, he gives us this thumbs up emoji. Emojis drive me nuts. All right, next one. This one's going to be regarding playing a fire deck. So you can assume it's some sort of Charizard kind of E-build. They're probably rocking rare candies. We didn't get the most amazing hand, a lot of stage 2s. So we get Rotom on the board and get some free draws. And from there, let's see what we do here. And so yeah, we're seeing some Charizards. I don't know why people play the Charizard that has 60 health against this kind of meta. I feel like it's really easy to get 60 damage on Benchmons, and he's really going to pay for this. And you can see him search something out there, but he's going to try to get his bench stacked up here. And the one great thing about Dragapult that I really like is you're able to manipulate damage on the bench. And so let's see how we handle this here. I know we got a really good hand in regards to follow-up. So we get some more Mons on our bench just in case, get some good energies here, and we're able to use this Luminon V to help us search some rare candy shenanigans. And you know what's even more busted is that we get to search again with this item card. It's just so good, and when the formats rotates over, we're definitely going to miss this consistency booster. And we're able to knock out his Growlithe and his Charmander, so then he can't really evolve. Even if he gets another Charmander on board, he's gonna have to wait a whole nother turn to evolve it. So I don't know why he didn't probably, I respect him sticking in it, because you'll notice throughout the video, a lot of people quit when they realize they're losing, which, to be fair, you're trying to climb a ladder, so that totally makes sense. Why waste your time? But at the same time, take it to the chin, but all he's got left is this Moltres. I'm just checking to see what it does, just in case I'm not seeing, I'm missing something. But very quickly, this game is over. And he just passes turn. He doesn't even attack. He just kind of knows. But I respect him. I think I'm able to get a little bit more, coinage by him not quitting. But this is an example of me using Badoo to my advantage. I am playing it because it's really strong against the Mirror. It's also very strong against Charizard, which is, two decks that you're going to see quite often. And every deck plays item cards pretty much. So I didn't really know what he was on, and this was a dead giveaway when he went for what he gets off of here. But okay, so he's on some water deck. He needs to evolve this Watermon though first. Again, it only has 60 HP. I'm going first. I set up my board really well, and we're going to see a very good example, just like we did last game, in which I'm able to evolve super early, get the energies required to get a turn 2 200 attack going with 60 damage to whatever Mons he's trying to evolve. It's also really nice when you have the Dusclops engine to manipulate the amount of prize cards your opponent has. And this is going to be used to our advantage with Counter Catcher. And so I evolve. You'll notice I got the higher rarity dudes because, this is the deck I've been playing. So I'm like, I'm thinking. I'm like, okay, let's use this Dusclops. Use it. Thank you. Curse Blast. I'm like, who do I put this on? I'm not going to put it on those. Okay. This will get him with 5 prize cards. Counter Catcher will then be active, and my goal is to take out both of his 60 HP, I don't know what that mon is, Wynut or whatever it is, both of his 60 HP water mons that I know he's trying to evolve. That's his win condition, trying to get these guys going. Manaphy and Bidoof are cards that help get you through your decks so that you can evolve and start getting into your win condition. But I'm able to take that out of the equation. And this is the good thing. If you get pace, if you get good setup early, you're able to really do well with this deck and get your opponent on their heels. I mean, he's just searching his deck for something, but even if he did get one of his stage 1s on the board, I'm going to knock it out next turn. So this is one of those instances in which I thought he was just going to concede, but he didn't. He grinded it out a little bit more, but this is just a good game and a good example of being able to target the stage 1 mons that you know help them develop their win condition. Same thing goes for here. This is a very popular deck. I think it's really strong in that it's really hard to interact with your opponent's discard pile. It really isn't a thing in Pokemon yet. In Yu-Gi-Oh! And other card games, it's more prevalent, but they don't have that in their format. So this deck can just do whatever it wants, discard whatever it wants, load up its graveyard, and then just lash out at you really easily. And so I'm going to take the same method I did last time, in that I'm going to try to target both of his Fire Mons. The one bad thing that he did is he filled up his bench with cards that they do help him search. However, they're clogging up his bench so much so that if I take out both of his Fire Mons, he's got to wait a whole nother turn to set up. For me, in this instance, though, I didn't get what I needed to that first turn, so I went into my Bidoof. I don't even think this is that strong against this deck. I mean, it's strong, but they can work around it. However, I think I was able to buy some time here for myself to set up. So he was able to search Ultra Ball and Nest, but he's not able to use them. So that helps him in preventing to get to his stage 2 mon that he's going to put on top of his stage 1 mon, rather, that he's going to put on top of these fire dudes. So he ends up knocking out my Bidoof, which is fine. I'm like, whatever. So I'm going to use Pokestop. Not a great card for my deck, personally, but I'm thinking, what am I going to do? Okay, let's just evolve, and this is my opportunity to strike. So I'm going to switch out into... I forget why I did that. I don't really know why I did that, to be honest with you. I think I don't know if it was a misclick or what. Oh, I did that because the one that has the energy on it had 60 HP, and so I was able to use the damage counters to knock him out. I wouldn't have been able to do that if I attacked the other one. All right, another game here. Looks like whenever I see somebody put that Pokemon as their first mon, I immediately think they bricked, but he's able to get that stinking card that gets it two little guys on the bench early, so we kind of know what he's playing right away, and the 60 HP mon is the one that helps him get to his win condition. And if I recall correctly, this deck can be quite annoying. He ends up getting into Rotom, gets his hand loaded up, and so we got to get some development here. So we also draw that cheeky card, and we draw a Lumineon again, which helps us in searching what we need to search, and we're going to get this really quick development again, because we got Arven, we got Rare Candy, we drew a pretty good hand, and we drew a switch. Like, we just got the nuts. And so the real reason I'm trying to go fast here is to get rid of that win condition. Again, it's something he needs to evolve, so it's going to have to be put on the bench, wait a turn, and we're able to get pace here. And he kind of freaks out. He ends up playing this card that gets his bench loaded back up again. And right here, I'm not super confident. He just was able to load his bench back up, and it seems like he's got, and he picked, that card's actually really strong. I've found it's kind of annoying. You're just about to knock somebody out, and he's able to put it back in his hand. Either way, it seems as though he's getting set up. He's got 10 cards in his hand, and so I'm trying to think, okay, what am I trying to do here? I got to start getting another Dragapult on the board just to solidify my placement here. I end up negging him 4 cards, which is amazing. Get to Dusclops, and this is another game, I'm putting a couple of games in a row that have a similar theme in that we're able to target their win condition. So I do the same thing here. I get 2 prize cards for the attack of 1. I'm poisoned though. I'm a little nervous, but I don't really foresee him doing that much damage. But he's able to evolve here, and this mon's actually pretty strong that he's putting in. And I can see what he's trying to get to. He's trying to get my HP low so that I can't damage him. But it seems like he's maybe not drawing what he needs to draw to get set up. I saved this Dusclops, which is going to help me here in the close. And this is just game. This is the one thing with Rotom that's, you know... Oh, yeah, I forgot to mention. So sometimes I think, okay, it says I can't damage with attacks, but it's not an attack. I'm placing damage counters, and sometimes I mess up. So I messed up. I gave him a free turn. Either way, it's not a huge deal. But he's got his win condition on the board. However, he just has enough to get over my guy. But I have a pretty dang good hand, and so I'm able to draw what I need to draw. I have Arven if I need to get to something, but I think he ends up quitting. Yeah, he sees the writing on the wall, and I would have been able to get to Dragapult and KO him. This is an interesting game. I was super confused because I had not seen this deck before. It's a deck that it plays some interesting energy cards that make it so you can't interact in a normal way. And I didn't really read the card that's active right now. I was like, I don't even know what this does. Luxray, I think is his name. And the first attack he has is actually pretty interesting. And he's starting to try to strip me of item cards, which is super annoying. And I have to go read the energy just to make sure. Okay, that one, I'm going to take one fewer prize cards if I knock him out. He ends up Rotoming. It seems like this is more of like a control-y kind of janky control deck. I'm like, okay, whatever. Let's just keep doing what we're doing. So I'm like, I can't use that to get rid of his energy because it's not an item card. And I need a fresh start, which ends up working out pretty well for us. I didn't want to load my bench up too much as I want to give room for other mons to be on there if needed, if we draw a Lumini on or something else. He's getting Mist Energy. I need to check out what that is. Looks like he's getting Pidgey going. But this is something that it's an interesting deck. I've never played it before. So let's see what ends up happening here. So then this is when I first realized what he's trying to do. And he gets rid of my boss's order, which is annoying, but no worries. I have Arven, and that allows me to get 2-3 searches because this item card is just nasty. Like, it's just amazing. I'm checking the board. Okay, what should I grab? What should I grab? I don't know. I'm confused. Okay, well, we can search into our deck a little bit more. It doesn't really help us too much, but we'll get this just in case we need to get something from the bench. This game, I was really hurting for psychic energies. I didn't see them really that much, but it didn't really matter because we had the item card, but still. It ends up being kind of a grindy game because after this Luxray, he's got some other control-y kind of cards that are gonna do him a benefit here. So he searches the Mimikyu, and this is the one that can be annoying. My win condition is an EX Pokemon, so I'm like, okay, counter gain. So he can do an attack here with Mimikyu, but I have a really, really good counter to this. I don't have Pokemon really in my deck that can do damage to Mimikyu besides some of my stage 1s, and so I'm like, you know what? We're gonna have to. I wasn't able to search anything beneficial, but that Dracloak's going to have to put in some work or to figure something out. But I end up actually going the Dusclops Dark Noir route in that is going to be my method to knock out this Mimikyu. It says I can't do damage with EX and Pokemon V. However, Dusk Noir and Dusclops are not the case. I still attack, so I can do 60 damage to Rotom, but this Mimikyu isn't as solidified as he may think it is. It's able to do 70 damage. He's just chilling. I really am just confused as to what his goal is. I end up knocking out with Dusk Noir. He has to put in Rotom. I knock out the Rotom, and it's game. It was a cool little combo there. I've struggled with that in the past though. If I don't have the Dusclops combo setup. This is another game where I get Badoo on board. I don't really know how Badoo does against this deck, and when he gets all these mons on his bench, I'm confused as to what his angle is. It seems like he's got a few different strategies going on, and I hadn't seen this combination before. And so I was a little confused as to what I should do, but my hand kind of only gave me one option. So I'll evolve, and I was, okay, do I attack first or do I use Badoo? And I decided I'm gonna go for blood here. I'm gonna use Dragapult, and I was just trying to spread out this damage in a way that made sense. I know that Steel Pokemon has an evolution that is pretty beefy from my recollection, so I ended up just putting the damage counters there. He ends up searching some energies. I'm like, okay, what does that do again? And he searches Grand Tree, and this card is much better than I thought it was. He just gets to instantly evolve, and this Garchomp's nasty. That's a good card. But the one thing about Grand Tree is I get to use it as well. And this is one of the... I haven't played Grand Tree a ton, because I feel like in this format, it's maybe not the best, because a lot of decks have evolutions that can utilize this card. I can just go straight into Dusknoir, which is super nasty, and this is going to allow me to knock out his Garchomp. But I want to shuffle up first, get my hand something. I'm trying to get more setup, because I don't have another Dragapult going, so I'm going to do that first. And I'm going to give him the damage counters here. I should have done that first and then done the shuffle, because then he would have got one less card. But nonetheless, you know, I make mistakes. I'm not a perfect player. I'm not a great player, but I enjoy playing. So I want to share things that I enjoy in the trading card game space. And so that's why we're doing these Pokemon videos. And I hope you guys are enjoying so far. If you haven't already, go ahead and like the video and subscribe. Just trying to see how these videos go. If people like them, if they don't, whatever. Hopefully I can maybe live stream in the future with these. But he ends up conceding, and here we are to the next game. This Mewtwo deck I haven't seen a ton of. I don't think it's particularly good, but nonetheless, he's got a couple Mewtwo EXs, and he's trying to get those Natus leveled up here to do some discard shenanigans. I got a pretty good setup. Whenever you get that card, it's insane. You just get 2 Mons instantly on your bench. So I end up going the evolution route. I've found this item card to be quite useful. I'm happy I have it in my deck, because sometimes you just don't have much, and it's better to just evolve than to do nothing. And, you know, if you can't get to your Rotom to draw, you might as well try to get some pace in evolving. So I'm able to do that. And trying to remember where this game goes here. We use Recon, get Rare Candy, but I don't have much. I'm stuck. So I'm like, you know what? Let's get an energy on, and let's Iono, and let's try again. I'm giving him 4 free cards. 4 free cards, but I'm like, oh, should I concede? And then I pass turn to him. I'm like, you know what? No, we're not going to concede. Let's stay in the game, because I'm trying to climb the ladder, and I'm not trying to stick around for some long, grindy game that I'm just going to lose. And these are all 3x speed, so just think of it that way. This is taking more time than you think. You can see the timer to the right. I use Recon. I get Dragapult. What a draw. What a rip off the top. I'm like, you know what? Do I put that on there? Let's use Arven. We'll get the free energy here, and I can actually set an energy on my smaller basic dude and give myself some setup. And so I'm going to use Dusclops so I can knock out this Mewtwo. He has no energy. Like, I'm just confused as to what he's trying to do. I end up putting 10 on the Pogo, I think that's his name, and this allows me to knock him out next turn with my Dragapult EX. And that's one thing I've been doing a lot. A lot of Mons right now in the meta have 210 HP, and so I'm able to spread out Dragapult's damage counters, and that helps me in giving everybody an opportunity to get knocked out. He's got 2 energies on his Mewtwo EX, and this card's, it's just not that good. I'm not sold on this. I mean, maybe this person really likes Mewtwo, but I just don't find this deck to be very, very strong. But nonetheless, I end up doing a very similar move. However, I'm doing something a little different. So I end up knocking out his Mon on the bench, and I use Dusclops and Dusknoir. And that allows me to basically take 4 cards in one, which is crazy. So that was a fun little turn there. And next deck we're playing is this ancient box kind of deck that uses this Raging Roku kind of dude. And it's actually really hard against our deck to play this deck because it's got some pace to it. It doesn't evolve anybody, and these guys on the bench just get a free energy on their mon, and it draws one. Like, look at that. They just knocked me out in one turn. So I'm really feeling the pressure right now. I get Dust Claps on the board. And I've struggled against this deck, the Raging Bolt. Yeah, Raging Bolt, not Raging Roku. Raging Bolt, not the TV. And I end up thinking, you know what? I need to get this dude off the board. The thing is, they don't have to use any resources to get into this mon, which makes it like insane. Like, they didn't do anything. They just placed him on the board. It could just be tricky, but I'm able to actually get to what I want to get to pretty easily. I'm using Lost Vacuum because I don't want him to have access to that. I almost said field spell. Access to that stadium, as it's really strong. Get some free searches. And I'm just searching my deck, getting guys set up, and I'm feeling more comfortable here. I'm just a little bit uneasy with my setup right now, and I'm just hoping to God he doesn't draw an energy so he can't escape. And I think based on how he's playing, I'm like, oh, okay, I'm actually doing pretty decent. And this is a way, now when he played this card, I'm like, oh, dude, you're screwed. Even he was able to switch me out, but he has no cards in hand. And the only way he's going to get cards in hand is by drawing, or if I kill one of his mons, he's able to draw 3 with the guy on his bench. And so for me, I'm like, I don't want to push to knock him out here. Try to spread damage around, so much so that I don't kill anybody, so I don't give him any cards. And then the next turn, I'll go for blood and hopefully get game. So that was my end. That was my goal here. And I'm thinking long game here, trying to get this. Thinking the short game rather. I'm trying to get this done quickly. And so I love the item card. It's just a free energy, and this allows me to spread energy around and get 200 on his guy, but it doesn't kill anybody, so he doesn't get free draws. I put 10 on the other guy just so I can knock him out if I need to, and doesn't draw anything. And this is just how you can, and he gets that free energy, but at the same time, he has nothing. He has no plays, so he's just passing turn, and I respect him for staying in it because he's pretty much done. He has nothing. This is one of the things I like about the deck is that you can use this strategy on how you place these damage counters. It helps you a lot. And I'm down to, he has way more prize cards than I do, but you wouldn't know. And I just catch up. I got 4 prize cards in one. And yeah, he gets his 3, but he has nothing set up. And the one thing that you got to be careful with this deck is that card, the Professor. That card just gets 2 free energies. Them on, and it could be very dangerous. If you don't have follow-up, you can get hosed. But at the same time, I don't know what he has in his hand. He's got 7 cards, but I don't know what his aim was for here with the Squawk. He basically is praying that I don't have an energy to put on my Lumineon, and I end up drawing one, so it allows me to retreat and knock his mon out. But that was kind of his goal, just to put me on my heels, but it didn't work. One thing with this deck is that you can get some really quick knockouts. So this deck I'm playing is not good by any means. I draw the card, it helps me search a little bit. I don't remember exactly what the deck does. So part of me is like, let me get Badu out here and let's just, let's hope this can hold him off. And I drew pretty well. I got good setup. When you're going second, you can't evolve, so you have to wait. And that's something it's hard for my deck. And I don't know why he didn't put anybody on his bench. Maybe he just didn't have anybody, but I'm just going to use Dust Noir and kill you there. It's so good. I didn't even have to get to Dragapult. So that's why I like the Dust Noir engine. It gives me a whole nother strategy, and it allows me to work pretty well. This game, I'm trying to remember here. Again, I'm playing the Ancient Box kind of deck, and you can struggle against this deck. It's not easy. especially when they can get pace on you. But I got 2 of my basics on board. I got 2 Duskulls as well, and that Professor card, man, it's just strong. He's gonna get a knockout right away, and their Stadium prevents these item cards from these equip cards from doing anything, which really takes away from what I'm trying to do there. I'm really trying to not have to evolve both of them, but I have to because I didn't draw a rare candy. And so I switch out. I get rid of that field spell because it's annoying. And I'm searching. I'm soul searching here. I'm trying to throw him off his game. I'm able to evolve a couple guys. I'm trying to get some more setup. I'm trying to get access to my stage 2, which I don't have right now. Get another one of those on board. Hopefully he doesn't kill me. So I'm escaping here, using Rotom and coming back another time. I'm only 1 energy away from having an attack with that guy anyway. But again, I just mentioned how this deck can give me trouble because it's quick. It's really quick. And he's got 2 of them on board, and it's just crazy in Pokemon how you can have multiple of the same card on your bench, and it can use the same effect 4 times if you had 4 of them on your bench. It's just frustrating. Coming from other card game spaces, it's just like, where are the once per turns? And that Latios is actually really... Is it Latios or Latios? I'm trying to remember. Whatever. Making his Mons not have any retreat cost is pretty good. But he gets a quick knockout, and I now have access to evolve both of them if I need to. I don't really get any good draws off that effect. That ability, rather. But I still have some good trainers, and I end up going for the Dragapult route just to get some damage in here. Hopefully put him on his heels. I don't evolve my... Oh, I end up doing it. Okay, I was thinking about not doing it, so I get the search for next turn, but I don't want him to switch out my guy, and, you know, anyways. It's another instance here where I spread out the damage so that everybody's able to get knocked out by my 200 attack. And this card's just nuts. It gives him 2 energy, 1 free one on board, and then he gets 1 in his hand. And he already had tons of energies in his hand already. Like, this is just nuts. Like, look at the resilience of this deck. I just knocked out the boss monster, and he just slaps another one on board, and he's got 3 of these dudes. Look how much energy he has on board now. 6 energies. Like, you're supposed to only be able to put 1 down per turn. He just put 5 or 6. The thing with this deck, though, you can grind it out. He ended up quitting because he probably saw the writing on the wall. Now we've got Charmander. And this deck I find does really well against Charmander. You just gotta be very careful because Charizard rather, late game can be insane. And so one card I know is really good against Charizard that I play in my deck is... I know, guys, I know, the Badoo. I'm gonna get there. Maybe. I'm trying to think here. I don't know if I end up not doing that because I don't have an energy to switch him out. So I might go a different route here. I'm just trying to remember what I end up doing. Oh yeah, I go back to the Badoo. I get 50 damage on his guy. The only reason I do that is so I can switch him out. And this allows me to use my Badoo, which he can't. They literally can't. They can't evolve the Charizard without their rare candy. They'll have to go to Charmeleon and then go to Charizard, or they have this one item card that can do it from the discard pile. But I knew I had him on his heels, and I needed to get more development. I needed to get ready to go before I felt comfortable in really going for it. But it helps that I was able to get to these Dracloaks, and the switch doesn't help me. But since I used my Dusclops, I'm able to switch into his Rotom, and he would have to have an energy card to discard here. And I think he just must have bricked. I don't know. He goes for draws. I'm like, okay, sure thing, dude. I get the switch. I'm lucky there for sure. But I don't have the Psychic Energy, so that is annoying. So I go back to the Badoo, and we'll try it again. I couldn't get the Psychic Energy. I had 2 fires on board and just couldn't get it. He has 3 Charmanders on board, and he literally can't do anything because my Badoo. It's such a strong card against his deck. Again, I don't get the energy I need, so I'm like, okay, I'll go for Dusknoir, get another one. I'm trying to thin my deck out so I can get a freaking Psychic Energy. This is the most annoying thing. And again, this is, I think I was recalling the other game on accident, but I don't evolve my Dracloak on purpose so I can use that search for next turn. I end up getting the Earthen Vessel anyway. I don't need the evolving disc thing. Oh, here, now all the Psychic Energies decide to show up. So now I'm good to go. Badoo even has a free retreat cost, which is busted. It's like you make him an insanely annoying card, and there's no retreat cost. The one thing that bugs me is he's got 2 Charmanders on board. So I'm going to go ahead and just target his Charmander. I'm going to just target both of them. I did this in a couple games earlier, and it's really easy to target these guys. And I'm thinking here, I'm really thinking, and I'm trying to knock out both of his Charmanders. I end up going the Dusknoir route to knock that out because I can also get his Dusclops on the board too. So I end up getting 3 in one turn, 3 prize cards in one turn. He's on his heels. He has no setup. He concedes. And next, I don't know exactly what I'm playing. And then he searches Eevee. So I'm like, oh, great. Playing this Eevee deck. And this is from the new set. They got a lot of support. And so I didn't know exactly what to expect. I've been seeing it around a little bit, but not like a ton. I think it's decent. It's got some potential. It can get on your heels super early, which can be a problem. The one thing for him is I don't know if he necessarily drew what he needed to, because I know they have the option to evolve super early with one of the EV abilities, but I'm able to get some follow-up. I'm like, I don't know if Badoo's great against this deck because they're not using rare candy, but I have to have it on board just in case and try to buy me time, because I didn't get like the nuttiest hand. I got a hand that helps me get a bunch of guys on bench, but I don't have access to maybe what I need to yet. I have to wait another turn because I went second. And he shuffles me out anyway, so whatever. But I still was able to get a pretty good rip off the top, and I'm thinking that his EVs both have 200, so that's going to be an easy KO for my Dragapult if I can get it. I don't have another energy, but I think he kind of just gets scared and quits. I don't know. Maybe he just drew really poorly off of the Iono. This one, I got Badoo on the board again. I'm playing Charmander, and they hate this card, so they just quit. Badoo just gets you games, man. Literally, people hate that card. I hate that card. I hate it too, but I feel like I have to play it. Otherwise, there's sometimes you just get screwed. It's too good to not play, even though it's frustrating. Here's Eevee again. This is the card I'm talking about. The Eevee that has the ability that you can just overlay over it. You get to evolve super early, and it's strong. It's strong. I think that I look at the Eevee deck, and it just has so many different energy cards. I feel like I would get really frustrated because I wouldn't get the energy I need, and it'd get annoying. That would be for me. Like, I'd get a little peeved if I had to get 3 different types of energy on the board. This fan card is crazy. Just gets to search too, especially for this Hoot Hoot engine. It's really good. And like, look, he just got Flareon. He got 2 evolutions, and then he throws this on top of it. He gets easy access to the energies he needs. It's like, really? It just completely obliterates my Badoo. I'm like, great, dude. And I don't have much follow up here. And you know what? Like, I'm gonna see what I get here, but at the same time, sometimes it's not worth it. I'm just gonna, it's sometimes you just gotta quit. It's not worth putting. You trying to climb the ladder. I'm not getting really what I need to. I think that's what ends up happening. But I don't quit because, I'm trying to stick it out here. I'm also trying to learn the deck a little bit because I haven't played it a ton. He gets the energy he needs, and Noctowl searches you 2 cards. It's pretty good card once you get it set up. And if you have multiple, it's like boom. But the one thing I don't like about it is it's stuck on your bench, which can cause some issues. He switches out to my Dracloak, and this takes away any slight momentum I had. And I think this was my last draw. I don't remember. Do I keep playing? That's crazy. Yeah, I keep going, man. I keep going. We're doing this, man. We're doing this. All right. We're not quitting. Future Ryan's like, I'm quitting, but nope, we're keeping it in. Badoo, let's do it. He's got 2 evolutions set up, 6 energies on the board. There's no way. There's no way. You got no energies on the board. You got very little draws. There's no way. And I concede. I finally concede. Stubbornly concede. Okay, a couple more games here where I lose. This one, this deck I talked about it, how it can just completely dump things into its graveyard and you can't do anything about it. I would just say when it goes first, it's hard. It's really hard to play against because it can evolve right away. It just stacks it on top. There's no rare candy shenanigans. It's a solid deck. I would consider it for this next meta. For me, I just find that going second against it is really tough. I'm using Badoo, but I don't feel like it does enough of what I need it to do. Like, he just gets, it's boom, right there. And you have no control over what their discard pile freaking has. So, I don't know, I just feel like it's strong. Look at my hand. I have Rare Candy, Night Stretcher, and an Energy. Just one downside of this deck is you can get some crap hands. Some of the games I had, they're quick. It's really good to climb ladders with, but you can get jammed up in your hand a little bit. This is another game here. I get the Rotom. I feel like I get a pretty good setup. Like I'm actually, I feel like I get some good stuff going. I'm going first, so I can't use the Iono, but let's see kind of what happens here. He's got the Badoo as well. We're just gonna do a Badoo matchup, I guess, huh? Badoo face-off, and this is against Roaring Moon. I used to play this deck a couple formats ago, rather. I love this deck. I love that card. It's so strong, and I think this control-y variant of it is pretty solid. Next format, though, they're going to rotate out of some of these dark support cards, but I'm not super convinced Badoo's going to do a ton. It's going to prevent them from using the patch, but I don't really have another option, so I'm like, okay, whatever. He used Badoo on me, so I can't use any of those item cards, even if I wanted to. I didn't want to use Iono and give him 3-4 free cards, so I passed there. I've got this Fez in my hand, which is going to help me out. Draw into what I need to draw into. This is one of those games I wish I had back. I feel like I could have maybe done something different to get a better result, but got Dracloaks here. I used 2 of them, and it doesn't help me much. I'm trying to put 50 damage on him so I can get him into range of knocking him out. I want to get rid of that Badoo, so next turn I can do something. This guy is annoying. This guy's active right now because he can move damage counters from his mons on his bench or active to my mons, which makes it hard because I just put 50 damage counters on him from Dusclops. And he takes 3 of those away, puts them onto me, uses Professor, and it's like, man, everything's just so free to him. And I don't know if I can do what I need to do, but part of me thinks I should have just not done the Dusclops yet. I should have waited until I had 200 damage on him, or right before I did 200 damage, and then I should have used it. Now I'm just on my heels. I don't have much. He's up a couple prize cards. I'm trying to get some Dusclopses on the board. I have no way to really load up an attack this turn. Even if I did, it wouldn't kill him. And I don't have anything. I accidentally put my energy onto Rotom. I didn't put my energy on a Rotom, so I wasn't able to switch out. I'm like, okay, well, I'll get some more energy. I'll thin my deck out. But I just didn't get what I needed to. And he's going to be able to kill me here again. I'm going to be down a ton of prize cards. It's just not in the cards for me. No pun intended. Again, he could just move the damage counters, which just makes it pretty solid. I mean, he's gonna end up getting 200 damage here to himself, but I'm just a little behind right now. A little bit behind. And again, I wish I had the Dusclops. And he just got that Mon on the bench that has 130 health, and that's his follow-up. That's, even if I knock this dude out, I just don't think I got it. But I'm going to switch out. I'm going to try to do this here. I can't even use the Dusclops because I only have one. He only has one prize card remaining. So I'm like, okay. This is the part where I hesitated. I'm like, shoot. I should have put the damage counters on nobody, because then he's just going to move him over to me. But I actually thought I had momentum here. This is a game which I felt like I should have won. And then he throws it out on the board, and I'm like, great. He gets the patch. He gets the switch. He gets everything he needs, and I rage quit. But it's a fun deck, and I really encourage you guys to play it. If you guys enjoyed the video, go ahead and like and subscribe to the channel. Otherwise, I'll see you in another video. Peace.